But Nicole Auerbach of The Athletic, I've been on her show before, love her, put out an article that really kind of laid out why things are going to get a little bit sticky for the ACC. Now, she put up a graph, and you can find it on Twitter at Nicole Auerbach, that shows where the schools are right now. Now, the Big Ten makes $57.2 million per team, average payout. The SEC makes $54 million. The Big 12, $40 million. The Pac-12, $34 million. And down in the basement is the ACC with $30 million. Now, doesn't get better. So she had this all laid out, and she's assuming that in 2026 there's going to be a 12-team college football expansion. So she kind of plots out what those payouts will look like for the teams once that happens. And it becomes very clear that the ACC, Big 12, and Pac-12 are in big trouble. By 2029, the SEC will be making $117 million a year for each team. The Big Ten will make $101 million. And then the drop off from those two schools is precipitous as it goes down to $62 million for the Pac-12, $61 million for the ACC, and the poor old Big 12 with $57 million. But those three schools, it's almost less than half of what the SEC is going to make. Now, with that money is what sustains all the other programs on campus. It's not just pumped into football. The football money goes into all the other, like the softball, rowing, gymnastics if they have it, wrestling. It goes into all those programs. The SEC is going to be flush with cash. And a lot of that has to do with all these new media deals. And the ACC is absolutely hosed with what they're locked into right now. Because right now, they are in a deal that is pretty stagnant with ESPN that's paying them pittance compared to what the SEC and Big 12 are going to be making soon. So how does the ACC save themselves from this? Because they're very close. We're very close from college football becoming a two-conference league. And the Big 12 is in that cute little, whatever the heck it was called, the Alliance, which means absolutely diddly squat at this point. And it sounds like it's not going to mean anything because one of the conference, I think the Pac-12 said, they're not doing anything about scheduling. So goodbye. That was fun last year, right? Well, now you have the SEC and the Big 10 and then everybody else. So the ACC needs to figure out quickly, and this is on Jim Phillips, the new commissioner, how to get this conference back into relevance. And the first thing they need to do is Jim Phillips needs to talk to his lawyers, talk to all the people, all the thinking heads that he has on board, and figure out a way to get the heck out of that ESPN deal. Because that right there is what's damaging everything. If they can renegotiate, cancel it, add another team that will force them to renegotiate it, something, that would be the best thing for the ACC. They need to be able to get that money. They need to be able to get to the open market again and renegotiate to see if they can get a bigger deal. Maybe Fox will spend more money or another company. Maybe, like think different, right? Maybe Amazon or Google or Disney or Disney's ESPN. But like those kind of companies, someone out there will pay for it, but they got to figure out how to get out of that. And I think the golden goose, the white whale for Jim Phillips is going to be Notre Dame, because you get Notre Dame on board, immediately that contract is gone. Immediately that makes ACC a million times more marketable, a million times, and I'm being a little bit facetious here, they're very, very, very much more marketable and attractive to other media outlets. That will give them more money for their members. So what they need to do, they need to figure out how to get out of that deal and then go from there. And that's going to be the biggest story for this conference, because they're going to be beaten into irrelevancy if they do not figure something out soon. Look at this. I mean, if you look at the graph, it's startling, the differences between the SEC and the ACC, Big 12, and Pac-12. And back in the day, it sounded like that deal with ESPN was good. You got your ACC network, which you can watch all those, laser games and all that stupid ads that they give you there. But strap in, folks. It's going to take a good mind to get the ACC out of the hole that they're in. And they got to make this happen soon, because otherwise a team like Florida State, a team like Clemson is going to see the writing on the wall, and they're going to reverse tail and head on out if they don't see something happening soon.